In the 75 previous runnings of the Indianapolis 500, no second-generation driver had ever won the greatest spectacle in racing. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins, and welcome to another Legends of the Brickyard. 1992 saw speeds climbing higher and higher, with many drivers unofficially breaking the track record in practice. It also saw, for the first time since 1982, a woman try to qualify for the starting lineup. But no one could have imagined the turn of events or the magic that would unfold during the race. With that in mind, sit back, relax, and enjoy the 76th running of the Indianapolis 500. With the Cadillac Alante pace cars leading the way, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway welcomes visitors to its 76th renewal of the Run for the Bricks. Shortly after 1 p.m., the track is officially open for practice, and the Dick Simon team lays claim to the honor of being the first on the track, with Scott Brayton leading the way. It's a typically cloudy first day at Indy, but that only seems to add to the tradition. Preparations soon turn serious. Defending champion Rick Mears straps on his helmet, ready to launch the quest for a record 5th Indy victory. A total of 30 machines took to the track on that first day and quickly served notice that this would be the fastest field of cars ever gathered at Indy. First day speed honors went to Jim Crawford at over 229 miles an hour. Day 2 saw Michael Andretti head the list at a speed of over 226 miles an hour. The yellow flag waved for Fabrizio Barbazza as he smacks the wall in turn 1. Day 3, Jim Crawford, 233 miles an hour. The fourth day, Scott Brayton spins out of turn 4. Buddy Lazier brought out a yellow. Paul Tracy slaps the wall in turn 1, and Roberto Guerrero tops the speed chart for the day at just over 230 miles an hour. Day 5, and Crawford clicks off a lap at 233.239. But one of the most frightening moments occurred when Rick Mears careened into the wall in turn 2. Rick suffered a minor fracture of the foot and a sprained right wrist. 5:40 p.m. saw Kenji Momota lose control in 4. Three-time Formula One champion Nelson Piquet found the speedway to his liking, reaching speeds in excess of 228 miles per hour. But on day 6, his hope of qualifying for Indy was shattered in this turn 4 accident. Top speed of the day went to a smiling Guerrero at 232.624. The last day before qualifying, day 7 saw Gary Bettenhausen crash a Menard team car. The search for speed saw Mario Andretti lead the pack at 233.202 to set the scene for pole day. Mother Nature wins the opening round, however, as rain keeps opening day qualifiers in the garage until afternoon. At 4 p.m., Ari Luyendyk gets the okay to launch what will be an abbreviated Run for the Pole. Luyendyk looks steady. He ends the first qualification attempt with a 229.127 four-lap average, setting a new Indy record. Bobby Rahal pulls up to the starting line next. An early favorite to win it all this year, Rahal will be piloting his own Lola Chevy. With wife Debbie looking on, the 1986 winner qualifies for his 11th straight Indy start. Canadian Scott Goodyear is up next in his bid for a 3rd Indy. The 32-year-old pilot checks in with an initial bid of 219.054. A venerable Indy name is up next. Gary Bettenhausen, making a bid for his 20th Indy 500, turns in 228.932 miles per hour. And then it's Al Unser Jr. with the new Galmer chassis carrying his Chevy power plant. At 30 years old, he'll already be starting his 10th straight Indy. With the track cooling and the day growing short, Roberto Guerrero takes to the track in the Kenny Bernstein Lola Buick. Throughout the Brickyard, attention slowly focuses on the easygoing Colombian. There's soon no doubt that Guerrero is back, big time. With each lap faster than the first, Guerrero blisters all records. He's on the pole with a blazing 232.482 average. Mario Andretti manages one lap over 230 miles an hour, but has to settle for a 229.503. Still good enough to make his 27th Indy race. As the 6 p.m. gun ends the short 2-hour qualifying session, rookie Jimmy Vasser waits in line. He and the rest will try tomorrow. Sunday dawns bright and promising.
Eddie Cheever, the third of 5 drivers left over from Saturday with a shot at the pole, moves onto the oval. Cheever stops the watches with a 229.639 and a torrid one lap of 230.103. Michael Andretti, last year's second-place finisher, joins his father in the field after an impressive qualification run of 228.169. And putting the hammer to his premature retirement announcements last year is A.J. Foyt, who overcomes yesterday's mechanical problems to put his Lola Chevy solidly in the field. It will be the 35th time for the tough Texan. With the final run and the first qualifying weekend complete, it is Guerrero who is crowned the pole position winner. His promising career is put back on track. With this year's pole win, Guerrero picks up $100,000 from PPG Industries and the admiration of the racing community. The pressure-packed first weekend of qualifying is over. But for those not yet in the field, the pressure has only built. For those lucky enough to have already secured a starting spot, this week will be one of adjustments, of preparation, of fine-tuning the final driver-car combinations that will line up on race day. But there's still danger. Allenzer Sr. brushes the wall. The quest for speed continues. By tenths of a second, teams measure their performance and adjust their machines yet again for another tenth of a second. If you can't grow your own, speed is even for sale with another team's backup. On the eve of the final weekend of qualifying, Philippine rookie Jovi Marcelo gets too low in turn 1 and slams the wall. Speed is no respecter of fame. Even Speedway veteran Pancho Carter is a victim in his quest for an 18th Indy 500 start. But time moves relentlessly on. Battling a clock ticking toward final qualifying weekend, those still searching for speed face final judgment. For racing fans everywhere, the ultimate loss has already taken place. Jovi Marcelo, the only Philippine to ever challenge the Brickyard, has died from his practice crash injuries. The second weekend of qualifying opens bright and promising. And for Lynn St. James, seeking to be only the second woman to qualify at Indy, the day brings elation as she secures a spot in the field. As they pose for photos, the Dick Simon crew knows they have a chance to make history at the old Brickyard. And then it's Belgian Didier Tays who makes a last desperate attempt for a starting position. Hope runs high on the face of wife Florence, but the Tays engine lets loose on the front straight. Florence is overcome by the disappointment. Tays will not be in the Indy field this year. Rookie Ted Prappis finds the speed he needs to join the field. The long hours have paid off. The crew shows their relief. They have overcome last year's disappointing qualification try when crashes claimed both the lead and backup cars. They're in the 1992 Indy 500. Three-time winner Johnny Rutherford will get the last qualification try in the final minutes of this final trial day. Though the run looks impressive, Rutherford's wife Betty and crew know it will not be good enough. Qualifications are over. The search for speed has been called off. For those who didn't have enough, it's time to go home. For those who did, it's time to close the doors for final preparations. The search for speed is over, but the search for victory has begun. Race day emerges with the ultimate surprise, a day of clouds and a 38-degree wind chill temperature. Weather will be a factor in this 76th annual Run for the Bricks, if only because teams never planned on such a reversal from the month's sun and high temperatures. Crews rising long before the sun begin to make their way to the track to practice pit stop skills and calm their own nerves. Engines are checked, settings are adjusted. Even the filling of fuel tanks is an art that's practiced and tuned. Tradition has moved with subtle but increasing tension to this one moment. It's time for drivers to enter their machines. It's race day, and the race for the bricks is about to see the ultimate tradition, the green flag.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the moment for the words we have been waiting to hear has arrived.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
The Cadillac Elante leads the field away. The snarling engines scream at the driver's command. begins to move down the back chute. The roar of the crowd salutes the 33 drivers. Pole sitter Guerrero spins. His cold tires on a breezy 52-degree day can't hold the track. He brushes the infield wall. And in turn 4, it's French rookie Philippe Gosh spinning in the middle of the field. His Lola Chevy slides to a stop untouched. After 2 aborted attempts, the impatient herd of horsepower is finally turned loose. It's the 76 race to the bricks, and it may be the most competitive field the old Brickyard has ever seen. Michael Andretti stuns the front row leaders as he sweeps low through turn 1 and claims the lead. Right behind is his father, 1969 winner Mario Andretti, the senior of the 4-member Andretti clan in this starting field. There are 10 former Indy winners in today's race, representing 20 victories. There are 7 rookies, including the first woman to qualify for the race since 1979, Lynn St. James. Michael looks unbeatable. And for Andretti fans, the hope is born that this may be the long-awaited change in Andretti fortunes at Indy. A caution flag flies for the blown engine on the Lola Buick of rookie Eric Bachelard. Mario Andretti also has a problem. He's in the pits, and his crew frantically searches for the cause. The field comes down for another green flag start. 4 Ford-powered Lolas started the race, and with Mario temporarily in the pits, there are 3 Fords left running. And they're running 1, 2, 3. Andretti, Cheever, and Lyondike. But Michael seems to have a little extra as he begins to stretch his lead again. Andretti has the Kmart Haviland Lola dialed in as the rest of the field scatters to keep up with his brutal pace. The field moves down the front stretch. It's Tom Sneva into the wall. Sneva's crumbling Lola Buick slides to a stop as the field dodges the scattered debris. He suffers minor injuries, and the rest of his day will be spent at Methodist Hospital for a checkup. With the track cleared for racing, the green flag flies again, with Cheever, the former Formula One star, leading the way. But his lead is short-lived as Michael and Scott Brayton make it 3 abreast. Michael reclaims the lead in turn 1. There's only one position Andretti wants to be in, and that's the number 1 spot. He's running every lap like it is the last lap of the race. He's giving the competition no breaks, watching them fade away in his rearview mirror. The Andretti pace is beginning to take its toll on the field. The next to fall by the wayside is Scott Pruitt in the Budweiser True Sport Chevy. His 3rd appearance at Indy ends early. Another engine erupts in a cloud of smoke. It's Gordon Johncock, the 2-time Indy winner who bumped into the field in the closing minutes of qualifying trials, coasts his Lola Buick to the sidelines. The yellow flag is out, and the pits become alive. Mario, Lyondike, and Crawford take advantage of this brief respite. Crawford's crew suffers an air wrench problem, and precious seconds tick by that will cost him valuable positions on the track. For Dominic Dobson, an even bigger problem. He tried to leave without the left rear wheel, and the crew has to drag him back for repairs. The green flag flies. Former winner Emerson Fittipaldi leads the restart, but back in the pack lurks the true leader, Michael Andretti. But there's trouble in turn 1. Gosh spins and collects veteran Stan Fox, who had no place to go. Both drivers are okay, but for Fox, making his 5th Indy start, the incident only spells frustration. Again on the restart, Michael sees daylight and runs for it. Out in front seems to be the safest place to be today. And there's trouble again. Crawford spinning and takes Mears with him. Fittipaldi is out of control. For car owner Roger Penske, it's a double nightmare. But a monitor replay confirms the worst. After another 8 caution laps for cleanup, Michael brings the field down for another run to the green. But this time, it's his father Mario who hammers the concrete in turn 4. For Mario, bad luck casts its spell again. Car owner Carl Haas and Michael's wife Sandy can't hide their frustration or their fears. Mario suffers injuries to his feet. Mario's car is hoisted for its final salute to the fans. This time on the restart, there are new faces at the front of the field. It's 1986 winner Bobby Rahal with Scott Brayton at his side showing some muscle. But the look is deceiving. Michael Andretti is still the leader back in the pack. Brayton and Rahal will have to search for every extra RPM they can find just to stay on the same lap with the heavy-footed Andretti. Michael's Ford has been hitting speeds of 229 miles an hour. Last year he led for 97 laps before losing to Mears by just 3 seconds. Brayton, who has been running as high as second in his Buick, finds his engine won't make the distance. He pulls his smoking machine onto pit road. The 7th restart of the day finds Michael up front, but a puff of smoke spells trouble for rookie Paul Tracy as he drops low. In turn 1, Vassar's in the wall. Both rookies come to a rest in the south end of the Speedway as yet again another yellow flag flies. Tracy was the Penske team's final hope. For Vassar, 94 laps will be his Indy introduction. Another restart, another crash. This time it's rookie Brian Bonner, the former motorcycle champion, who falls victim to the Indy wall. After 102 laps, 51 have been run under green, 51 under caution. Even in the pits, the navigating gets difficult as Lyondike overshoots the mark. Brazilian Boycel stops. A.J. Foyt in his record 35th start is in. Misfortune continues in the Lyondike pit. As the Lola Ford is refueled, a crewman gets tangled up and falls as Lyondike hits the throttle. He's shaken up, but okay. On the restart, it's a surprising new face leading the pack. 32-year-old Canadian Scott Goodyear has made a remarkable climb through the field. Goodyear was bumped from the field on the last day of qualifying. The team exercised an option for Scott to step into his team's backup car driven by Mike Groff. The option did carry a price. Scott Goodyear would have to start from 33rd position. He's now running in the top 6 and still on the same lap with race leader Michael Andretti, who's caught back in the pack. Turn 2 claims another Andretti. A runaway wheel nails Gary Bettenhausen. The 2 cars come to a stop on the back chute, and the rescue crews rush to the scene. The scattered debris signals the end of the day for Jeff Andretti and Gary Bettenhausen. Andretti continues to dominate, but there is another Ford in hot pursuit, and that belongs to Eddie Cheever in the Chip Ganassi Scotch Target Lola. 2 Fords battling for the lead, but Cheever has no answer for Andretti as he cannot close on the leader. Lyondike is into the wall in turn 4. For the Lyondike crew and Ari's wife Mika, the day is over. Yet another dream of victory ends up on the hook of a wrecker. They now line up Andretti, Goodyear, Unser Jr., and Unser Sr., and all on the same lap. On the restart, it's Michael Andretti in the lead. And now it's another stirring family story that takes its place front stage. Last year, it was a 2nd place finish for Mario's son. And 5 times in 8 Indy starts, Michael has been a top 10 finisher. Sandy can't watch. Paul Newman can. From lap 1, it's been a stirring and impressive performance by Andretti. With only 11 laps remaining, it's possible to see the checkered flag reward of lap 200. But the cold shadow of fate returns to Indy. Andretti slows. Car owner Newman looks in disbelief. The rest of the Andretti crew is shaken, not believing that Indy can again be so cruel. It's a yellow flag, and this time Andretti walks back to the starting line. Sandy Andretti says it all. I can't believe it. And suddenly it's a new race. The old script has been thrown out and a new cast takes the stage. There will be a conclusion that no one would have expected just minutes ago. The new players will be Al Unser Jr. and Scott Goodyear, and what high drama this one will be. As Shelley bites her nails, with 2 laps to go, let's pick up the call of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network. 2 more laps to go. Will it be Al Unser Jr. or Scott Goodyear in the 500?
Al Unser Jr.'s won almost $1.5 million here, but he's never won the race, and he's got a lot of work to do. Already in the short chute, that gap gets closer, Gary. Keep those cameras ready. We could have a photo finish once again, about 3 or 4 car lengths as they work down the backstretch. Who's it going to be in turn 3, Larry? 7 Indianapolis 500 victories already in the Unser family. Al Jr. trying to add one more. It's about a 2-car length advantage on Goodyear this time through 3. They head into turn 4. Little Al holding him off. Scott Goodyear right behind him. Just over a lap to go. They head to the main straightaway. The start-finish line. Who's going to get it?
Dwayne Sweeney waves the white flag. 1 to go. A 3-car length separation between Unser and Goodyear.
And that's how they come through number 1. The gap gets closer and closer and closer in front of Gary Lee.
Indeed, about 3 or 4 car lengths as they work off the second corner for the last time. Headed down the backstretch. Headed right at you, Larry Henry.
Scott Goodyear chucked right in behind Al Unser Jr. Goodyear low, Jr. high. They go to 4, Bob Blaney.
Al Unser Jr. has the lead. 1 more turn to go. Here they come. Coming to the finish line. Bob Jenkins, who's going to win it?
The checkered flag is out. Goodyear makes a move. Little Al wins by just a few tenths of a second. Perhaps the closest finish in the history of the Indianapolis 500. The Unser crew erupts. What a long wait it has been for this moment. And what a warm, sweet change from the devastating disappointment of 1989. It's jubilation, it's excitement, it's vibrations that are felt only when the ultimate in life is attained. As he completes his victory lap, Unser coasts into victory lane where the traditional but wild celebration will officially begin. The closest finish in Indy history. What were those last 2 laps like?
Once the green flag waved off that last yellow, I never lifted, not once, until coming around for the checkered in turn 4, because I was starting to get a little loose, and I lifted that one little bit, and man, he got a run on me like you wouldn't believe. So Scott definitely did a great job.
For Lynn St. James, it was an impressive and historic run. She finished 11th and was named Rookie of the Year. For another year, the quest is over. And for the Gallus-Craco Valvoline team, it's a dream come true. The thrill of knowing that this year they were the story in the race for the bricks.
The 43 thousandths of a second margin of victory was the closest in Speedway history, and it marked the first time that a second-generation driver had won. Along with the victory, Al Unser Jr. picked up $1 million, and that moved him to 3rd on the all-time earnings list behind his father Al Sr. and Rick Mears. At 45, Lynn St. James was the oldest rookie ever in the field at Indianapolis, and her 11th place finish earned her Rookie of the Year honors. The 13 caution flags reduced the average speed to 134.477. That was the slowest since 1958. I hope you enjoyed the 76th running of the Indianapolis 500. I'm Bob Jenkins. Join us again for another Legends of the Brickyard.